Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Eric with SweetSpotDFS, and these are my PrizePicks PGA plays for the 2022 Sony Open. If you've not yet signed up for PrizePicks, I do have a link in the description below, which will get you straight to the sign-up page utilizing the promo code SweetSpot. And if you sign up using that code and put at least $20 into your account, you'll be automatically entered into my $20 giveaway. I run this every Sunday night, and the beauty of it all, if I don't call your name this Sunday night, I'll enter it into next Sunday night's giveaway, and so on and so forth until your name is called. So you can look at it this way. If you do put $20 in, you're going to win 20 eventually, making your PrizePicks experience free. To sweeten the pot, PrizePicks is going to match your deposit up to $100, meaning your $20 turns into $40, which allows you to play PrizePicks a little bit longer or hit bigger wins. So if you haven't yet signed up, I highly encourage you to do so using the promo code SweetSpot. Again, link is in the description below. Let's go ahead. Let's look at the board that PrizePicks has for PGA. There are 5 boards, actually. You have final finishing place, birdies or better, fantasy score, greens and reg, and fairways hit. I'll tell you right now, we're not talking about greens and reg or fairways hit, but I do want to add one small piece of information here. I would not recommend comparing last week to this week. Last week at the Tournament of Champions, the fairways were really wide and the greens were really big. So hitting those were much simpler, much easier than what the PGA Tour has in store for it this week. I'm not saying the Sony Open at Wildlife Country Club is difficult by any means, but it's not a really good comparison to do last week to this week. Weather looks to be absolutely immaculate, very little wind, very warm temperatures. So I think your accuracy guys will show up and provide success for you guys. But I'm not going to talk any more about fairways, hitter, greens, and reg. Instead, my 2 boards that I like using are fantasy score and final finishing place. So we're going to start here with final finishing place. If you're with me in the preview video and the strategy video, or if you just pay attention to the fantasy golf realm in general, you're going to find out that having a performance last week matters. And I totally agree with that. Having a top 20 finish, if I look at the numbers for this, okay, so if you had a top 20 finish last week and you're in the field this week, you have a 40% chance of finishing inside the top 20. In fact, of all golfers dating back to 2013 that fall under this bucket, we've seen at least somewhere between 3 to 7 finish inside the top 20 every single year. So let's take a look at who those golfers are. It would be all of the golfers you see on the screen. Oh, that's last year's stats. I'm sorry. Let's go to last week's stats. So I'll highlight all the golfers that fall under that bucket. Now, we are missing 4 golfers in this field because PrizePicks doesn't have them to their pool, but you can see the 6 golfers on the screen here: Cameron Smith, Kevin Kisner, Sung J M, Mark Leishman, Kevin Na, Hideki Matsuyama. Again, the percentage of these guys finishing inside the top 20 is pretty high. When we look at these final finishing places, the only person that isn't projected under 20th place, or I should say over 20th place, is Cam Smith. His projection is 13.5. I'm going to skip him. I do think he plays well this week, and I think he can win this tournament. So having an under projection, I like quite a bit. But my 2 favorite picks, Hideki Matsuyama and Sung J M. Again, they are in this list right here and right here. So those are my 2 picks from that bucket. I'm hitting the unders with both of them. Now, the other thing too is not only is a top 20 good here, but or a top 20 from the week before good here, so too is that 20 to 40 position. And those are all the golfers that I have highlighted on the screen now. You have Stuart Sink, Billy Horschel, Siwoo Kim, Harris English, Abraham Ancer, and Jason Kokrak. If I'm being quite honest, I should give you the stats first. We have seen strikeouts from this bucket before, meaning no golfers finish inside the top 20. But we have a 25% success rate, and up to 6 golfers have finished top 20 from this bucket before. If I'm being quite honest, Billy Horschel and Abraham Ancer can take it for me. No, any time of the week, any time of the year. And their projections are actually pretty forgiving. So Abraham Ancer, 24.5. Billy Horschel, 32.5. Let's hit the unders for both of those guys. Now, we had to find an over. And I will say this. Anybody from Charles the Howell III, Charles the Howell, Charles Howell III on down, I think any of these guys can miss the cut. So meaning their projections, if you go over, is going to be just fine. I'm going to pick on Charles Howell III. He has really good course history here, which, you know, might defy logic to some extent, but I just think the field is so much better than the past tournaments he's played in, and him getting a little bit older, him not having a very good year this last year. I like the over for his final finishing place. The other thing could be said is if you think Cameron Smith's final finishing projection is a little too low, I would hit the over with Cameron Smith. I would have no issue with that. So if you need that, go for it. Again, PrizePicks makes you have to select at least one over and at least one under. So you can only have a max of 4 on each side. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in for you guys. That's a $5. I don't want to call it a bet. It's not supposed to be a bet, but putting $5 on those picks. The other thing I like to do is final fantasy score. Now, as I looked at the stats last year, your average score at this tournament for all golfers in the field was 68. For those that just made the cut, it was 67 for all golfers throughout the entire entire tournament. So seeing some of these like 66.5, 66.5, pretty darn close to the projection. Now I had to kind of look at a different stat model here. This is a whole year's worth of data dating back to the Sony Open last year. Of guys, and I have this sorted by round 1 average, Cameron Smith is your top guy in the field. That's in the PrizePicks pools. And then it goes Russell Henley, Jason Kokrak, Sung J M, Mark Leishman, and Keegan Bradley. So with that being said, you know, Cameron Smith, sure, 66.5, that's fine. You know, I don't mind that. Although I would say let's first find some of the better picks down here. Now, I like to choose the ones that have the 0.5s. I don't like the round numbers because if you tie, it just breaks down your 5-pick selection to a 4-pick selection down to a 3-pick. I'd rather lose or win. So I like going with the 0.5s. We talked about Keegan Bradley. I like him hitting the under. Now, I can just pick one of these guys for the over because there are some golfers here I just don't care for. I'm trying to find someone. So like an Emiliano Grillo. I don't mind hitting him for an over because he's kind of a bad putter. He's good with approach stats, but kind of bad with putting. Some of these other guys, I mean, like Charles, how about this? Let's just pick on Charles Howell III. Let's pick him with an over of 67. He doesn't really shoot really low scores, so I do like the 67 here. And I guess if I tie, that's fine. Like if I get it wrong, that's fine. But we need to find 3 more golfers for a 5-pick, which I like doing. One thing I like for PrizePicks is looking for morning golfers. Morning scores tend to be a little bit better. So I would rather pick some of my morning golfers, which would be all of these guys right here. So Webb on up. We have Webb, Matsuyama, Kisner, Palmer, Answer, English, Horschel, Keegan Bradley. I like Keegan Bradley. Where is he? Okay, we already selected him. Abe Answer, 67.5. Let's hit the under. Why not? Looking. Let's see if we can find some more 67.5s like Horschel, English, maybe Palmer, Siwoo. No, he's not 67. Kisner, there we go. We can hit the under on this one. Was Kokrak up here? No. Kisner, Ryan Palmer. Sure, we'll hit Ryan Palmer as well. So that is how we're going to do fantasy score. Highly encourage you guys, look at winfinder.com if you haven't already. For each round, I should say. Check that out. Make sure the wind is pretty low. If it is, and the projections are conservative, I'd hit the unders. If the projections are aggressive and there's a little bit more wind, hit the overs. But this is what I'm going to do here. We'll put $5 into this one. We have all of our picks in this week. Hopefully we can win some good money. But with that, that's all I have for you guys. So thank you for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. And I'll see you next week. Let's win some money.